Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening's quarterfinal debate. My name is Matilda Fletcher and I'm the chairman for this debate. The timekeeper is Laura Manning, and this debate will be judged by a panel of 3 adjudicators, who are Miss Nair, Mr Barnett and Miss Wood. The topic for our debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets in school. The affirmative team seated to my right is from Nazareth Catholic College, and the negative team seated to my left is from Aberfoyle Park. The speaking time for this debate is 3 minutes, and a single warning bell will sound at 1 minute. Before the speaking time, a double bell will sound at the speaking time. Please ensure that your mobile phones are switched off, and I declare this debate open. I call upon the first affirmative speaker, Nicoletta Christodoulou.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets at school. We define the topic as external doors being any doors which lead to outside spaces. For this instance, it is a door leading from a hallway into the toilets. The external doors provide safety for the people and the contents inside the building. The external doors provide privacy, as it is highly encouraged to always keep the doors shut to limit others looking into the bathrooms. We define school to be any primary and secondary schools, meaning year levels from reception to 12. These external doors should be embedded in all Australian school toilets. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Today, as first speaker, I'll be talking to you about how external doors provide a greater security and privacy, and how females would feel during menstruating whilst removing external doors. Our second speaker will be talking to you about the dignity aspect of external doors and the safety precautions when there is a lockdown. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. I'm discussing 2 points. My first point is that how external doors provide additional security and privacy. According to Adelaide Now, parents of Golden Grove High School students were outraged following the decision to remove the external doors from boys and girls' bathrooms. The parents were extremely concerned that the cubicles can still be seen from outside and easily allowing other students, teachers and visitors, including opposite genders, to look under the toilet walls or doors. It was stated to teachers and parents by students that they were avoiding going to school, going to the toilet and holding on till they were home to use the bathroom. According to Daily Mail, a parent claimed that as a result of the external doors being taken off the toilets at Modbury High School, some students have felt unsafe and self-conscious about using the toilets, that they had held on instead of going to the toilet for such a long period of time it had caused urinary tract infections, UTI. A UTI is an infection caused from bacteria build-up, and one of the main causes of it is holding urine in for an extended period of time, according to Geelong Medical Group. Therefore, the simple act of taking the doors off the toilet is causing students to feel unsafe using the toilets, which therefore may negatively impact their health to students. It is absolutely essential that we make sure all students feel safe at school. My second point is about how external doors allow girls to feel more private when they are menstruating. One of the problems with removing external doors is that the toilet block is in public view. During menstruation, individuals need a private space where they can access their products or use dispensers in the bathroom. When doors are taken off, dispensers are in public view. The issue of menstruation, although more widely talked about in the Western world, is still approached with stigma in other cultures, as stated by Opportunity International. Furthermore, National Geographic also reports that many girls experience a loss of self-esteem and personal strength during the onset of their menstruation. This in itself, ladies and gentlemen, illustrates the importance of conserving the dignity of the young person menstruating by providing a secure and private bathroom where dispensers are not in public view and the individuals don't feel the need to hide their products from public view. By removing the doors, we are only perpetuating the idea that menstruation is shameful, and this is simply not the case in 2022. So, Madam Chairman, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we the affirmative team can confidently state that there should be external doors on all toilets at school, as external doors allow greater privacy and safety, yet also letting females feel private and comfortable whilst using the bathrooms. Thank you.
upon the first negative speaker, Amina English.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets at school, and we, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. We agree with the affirmative's definition of the topic. However, we would like to further clarify that removing external doors on toilets at school would abolish urinals, as under the Department for Education's Facility Design Standard states, all student toilets are to be designed as fully enclosed toilet cubicles. As first speaker, I will argue that the removal of external doors will improve the safety and use of toilets, and it will deter illicit behaviour and therefore create a safer school environment. Our second speaker will discuss the hygiene and gender inclusivity benefits of not having an external door. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team's case. The first speaker from the affirmative team has tried to tell you that the privacy of students should be prioritised. We acknowledge that many people will feel that removing external doors will create a less private space, and naturally, people react passionately when they feel their individual privacy is being compromised. However, this is not the case. In fact, this action of creating private cubicles removes urinals, and this makes for a far more private environment. She's also tried to tell you that whilst a woman is on her menstruating cycle, she may feel uncomfortable without an external door. We, however, believe that menstruating cycles should be normalised, and removing external doors is the first step in doing so. My first point is that toilets in school must be a safe space for students to go to when they need to relieve themselves. However, many students are not using the toilet facility due to it being a place of widespread vandalism and illicit activity. According to the NSW, Parents and Citizens Federation, the state of school toilets is disgraceful, with doors and seats falling off, lights and taps, and even toilet seats being broken. Extremely offensive vandalism was also found. Furthermore, the vice president of this association, Yvonne Hills, told a parliamentary inquiry that students were developing bladder infections because they were nervous about using the facilities and were going home dehydrated because they refused to drink water in class to avoid having to use the toilet. This poses significant risks to the health and well-being of students. This leads me to my second point, that the underlying issue is that without adequate passive supervision of toilet facilities, students will vandalise and conduct antisocial behaviour. For example, according to the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, 1 in 8 students are vaping in school toilets, which is posing significant risks to their health. While the affirmative team might try to tell you that vaping can still occur in a cubicle, we still know that without an external door, the smell and action of vaping is still much more detectable, which, according to the Hawthorne effect, will become an obvious deterrent. According to communicationtheory.org, social scientist Henry Lensberg characterizes the Hawthorne effect as a psychological phenomenon when the behavior of a subject is altered due to their awareness of being observed. In this case, the awareness of being observed due to the absence of an external door deters any illicit behavior. This will consequently result in less vaping, and students who do not vape will feel far more comfortable using the toilets. By removing the external doors, we create a more open space that still protects the privacy of students, but more significantly protects their safety and well-being. This is supported by the principal of Golden Grove High School, who made the decision to remove external doors within his school, stating, "Accessing toilet facilities while at school can cause anxiety for some students. Privacy is still provided to students, and that removing external doors provides greater safety for student usage." So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, we believe a school that promotes and prioritises the safety and well-being of students is of most importance. By removing external doors, we take a significant step in ensuring that this is possible. Thank you.
I call upon the second affirmative speaker, Soraya Carlin-Smith.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets at school. We, the Affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first negative speaker has stated that taking the doors off will decrease vandalism. While this may be true, taking the doors off will not be the most efficient way to stop vandalising. According to ABC, Moorebank High School has implemented a new way to prevent vandalism by students using the fingerprints to open bathroom doors, so that the schools can track who is in the bathroom and for how long. This deters students from vandalising. Blackfriars Priory School has also implemented a similar system with a swipe card. Therefore, taking away the doors is not necessarily helpful to tracking of vandals. The first negative speaker also stated that taking doors off the toilets will prevent vaping, and taking off the door will be the best way to stop vaping. Students who are vaping will not be identified as efficiently well with the exterior doors removed. This is because, as Kiwi Sig states, that most vape detectors can only be set off if there is enough vape particles in the air. Therefore, if the door is open and there is more airflow moving around, these monitors will be ineffective. Also, another successful vape detector which is being installed all through Australian schools is one that when it detects smokes, it locks the door until a teacher comes and retrieves the vape from the student. This device will be useless if there are no doors to lock, letting the students get away with vaping. Our first speaker has already explained how external doors provide additional security and privacy, and how this is vital for schools as it provides a high level of safety and security. She also spoke about how external doors will allow girls to feel more private when they're menstruating. Today, I'll be talking to you about 2 points. My first point is that external doors should remain because it conserves the dignity of its users, particularly those who use urinals. The reason for that is because students attend high school. They are bound by code of conduct and protection policies to ensure that they are themselves feeling safe and unexposed. However, by removing doors, toilets can become into public view to those transverting past. Reported by a number of media sources, news.com.au, the Daily Mail and the Advertiser, Modbury High School and Golden Grove schools made the decision to remove toilet doors from their blocks. However, this caused urinals to become in public view. This was evidenced in the pictures applied to the Daily Mail, news.com.au and the Advertiser. This meant that users were left without their privacy of urination and exposing their bodies. Furthermore, removal of doors also presents a child protection and code of conduct issue for staff in a school. At the beginning of their employment, Catholic Education South Australia, the Department of Education, Lutheran Education South Australia and the Association of Independent Schools of South Australia asks their prospective employee to read and sign a code of conduct document. This is legally binding. Furthermore, they're mandated to undertake a child's protective training demonstrating that they will not engage in activity that may place themselves or students at risk. Removal of doors may cause accidental viewing of a student in a position that they may not have access to a complete privacy. This places staff in a compromising situation because on duty and transversing past buildings and toilet blocks, they're exercising their duty of care. My second point is around safety. When there is a lockdown, all schools in Australia are legally mandated to have an emergency response plan. This includes evacuations for fires and more recently lock-ins for dangers to students, like of that school shootings. While lock-in locations vary depending on school, all need to ensure barriers to prevent school injury. Toilet blocks offer a safe place for students to hide if they are caught during a lockdown exposed in a hallway. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the Affirmative team, strongly believe that schools should have external doors on bathrooms, as we have demonstrated the external security feature, provide dignity and privacy feature. Thank you.
now call upon the second negative speaker, Jessica Thornhill.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of tonight's debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets at school, and we, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. Now to my rebuttal. The second speaker from the affirmative team has tried to tell you that by removing the door to the bathroom, it will threaten the privacy that these spaces normally provide. What the affirmative team has told you doesn't make practical sense in regards to a person's privacy. As per our definition, removing the external door abolishes the urinals within the bathroom, and hence this is not an issue. Further to this, all cubicles within the bathroom are completely enclosed, thereby providing all the privacy one would need while relieving themselves. Our first speaker has already argued that the removal of external doors enables toilets to be used for their intended purpose, and that this action will deter illicit behaviour and thereby create a safer school environment. Tonight, I will extend this point by arguing that removing external doors creates a safer environment through more inclusive and hygienic practices. Now to my first point. Having an external door makes it unhygienic and exacerbates the transmission of disease from student to student. According to the South Australian Government, one of the most common ways of disease being transmitted from an infected person to another is via bathroom door handles. Due to high amounts of bacteria found within bathrooms, transmission from one student to another is far more common than anywhere else on school grounds. As all students who enter and exit the bathrooms have to interact with the external door by either pulling or pushing depending on which side you're on, this results in having to touch double the amount of doors, meaning that the spread of germ and infection doubles. Furthermore, according to the same source, 1 in 5 students do not in fact wash their hands once they finish relieving themselves, making it even more likely for germs to be passed onto the door handle. This is why our COVID-19 safety practices included the regular sanitation of hands and door handles. An external door will only allow for the greater transmission of germs and bacteria. And after already experiencing the COVID pandemic, which saw absentee rates rise on average to 40% in Australia, children cannot afford to miss more days of school due to illness. My second point is that by getting rid of the external doors on toilets, we will be helping with gender inclusivity. It will open the opportunity for a school community to decide whether or not they want to make their toilets gender neutral. As we move towards an increasingly progressive society that acknowledges gender diversity, it is imperative to make places such as schools more inclusive to people who do not identify as cisgender. Schools are a place where students and staff should feel included and safe, as it is a place where they spend a lot of their time. And according to the ABC, if someone does not feel safe or included in school, they will spend less time there, affecting their social life, education or work, and possibly their mental health. Most schools do indeed already have a few unisex bathrooms, but they aren't as easy to access as other bathrooms. Unisex bathrooms are more helpful for gender inclusivity, as anyone can use them, no matter what gender or sex they are. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, we believe in a school that promotes and prioritises the safety and well-being of students. And by removing the toilet's external doors, we make a significant step in ensuring that this is possible. Thank you.
I call upon the third affirmative speaker, Claire Harwood.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that there should be external doors on all toilets at school. We, the Affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first negative speaker spoke to you about how removing external doors can prevent students from vaping in bathrooms, and that it is a better way to catch someone vaping, and that they won't be able to vape in cubicles. This is incorrect, because students will still be able to vape in the individual cubicle, with many schools like Nazareth Catholic College having stall doors that almost reach the floor and roof. And there are lots of areas in schools that aren't constantly monitored, which students will move to so that they won't get caught vaping. Also, KiwiSig.com states that most vape detectors can only get set off if there are enough vape particles in the air. Therefore, if the door is open, there is more airflow around these rooms and these monitors will be ineffective, which is their most efficient way of catching vapors. She also said that taking the door off will be a better way for people who are anxious about using the toilets. However, the first affirmative speaker spoke to you and said, according to Daily Mail, a parent claimed that as a result of external doors being taken off toilets at Modbury High School, some students have felt unsafe and self-conscious about using the toilets and have had to hold on instead of going to the toilet for such a long period of time that it has caused UTIs. How is taking the door off helping those who are anxious when it's just exposing them more? The second negative speaker spoke to you about gender inclusivity and how taking off the door will make the bathrooms more gender inclusive. But why do we need to take a whole door off? Instead, we could just change the sign or take off the signs, which will show that we aren't making such big changes for them and it won't single out any people. The second negative speaker also said that getting rid of doors will be more hygienic because they won't have to touch the handles. This is incorrect because this isn't our biggest problem. Some bacteria found in bathrooms is airborne, meaning that the door will not confine the microbes in the bathroom if there's no door. Rather, it will spread around the school. According to Live Science, there are 500,000 bacteria cells per square inch in a bathroom. Keeping the bacteria confined means that the air fresheners, exhaust fans, and so on, which are found in bathrooms, can do their designated job and extract the bacteria from the air. It wouldn't be able to do this if the door was open, because the air wouldn't be constrained and instead would be travelling around the school and spreading the diseases that they mentioned, such as COVID-19. Our first speaker today spoke to you about how external doors provide greater safety and privacy. According to Adelaide Now, parents of Golden Grove High School were outraged following the decision of removing external doors. Students were reporting to parents and teachers about how they were avoiding to go to the toilet as students were feeling unsafe and self-conscious whilst having external doors removed. Avoiding going to the toilet can rapidly lead to urinary tract infections. She also spoke about how having access behind closed doors to sanitary pads and tampon dispensers allows females to comfortably use these facilities when required. However, without external doors, females can feel uncomfortable and self-conscious as people of other genders have the ability to view these toilets and view them collecting these menstruation products. Our second speaker told you that doors preserve the dignity of users, of those who use urinals, and that there have been reports of urinals being in view from the hallway at Modbury. She also said that this could unintentionally cause a child protection and code of conduct issue for teachers and staff at the school. Her next point was that taking off the doors can affect the school's legally mandated emergency response plan, where in case of a lockdown, the students in the toilets will be put at risk because there will be no way to lock themselves in. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I'm sure you will all agree that the obvious outcome for this debate is to keep external doors on toilets. Not only is it entirely unnecessary to take them off, but removing it is putting student safety and health at risk. Thank you.
I call upon the third speaker of the negative team, Arbiter Maragappa.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to reinstate that the topic for tonight's debate is whether there should be external doors on all toilets at school. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is completely false. I'll now move on to rebutting the affirmative team's points. The first speaker has tried to tell you that by removing the door to the bathroom, it will threaten the privacy that these spaces normally provide. What the affirmative team suggests doesn't make practical sense in regards to the infringements it makes to a person's privacy. According to our definition, removing the external door abolishes the urinals contained within the bathroom, rendering this a non-issue. Furthermore, all cubicles within the bathroom are completely enclosed and provide all the privacy that one would need while relieving themselves. This just leaves the presence of a wash basin. Even if there is a lack of privacy without the presence of an external door, we must consider what is more important: the health, safety, and well-being of students, or the right of students to privately wash their hands. The first speaker has also tried to tell you that females undergoing their menstruation period will feel uncomfortable if there are no external toilet doors. We, the negative team, believe that having the fully enclosed cubicle with the amount of privacy that females already have within female bathrooms, sanitary bins would also still be available within all toilets and would provide all the necessary things that females need while undergoing their menstrual period. The second speaker has tried to tell you that taking the external toilet doors off could make students more anxious and uncomfortable in the toilets. The opposition speaker has attempted to demonstrate that the removal of toilet doors may result in anxiety in students. However, this is a non sequitur fallacy, signifying the conclusion does not follow from the established premises, as the supposed inducement of anxiety in students does not logically justify the maintenance of an external door. A multitude of circumstances that are considered integral to the health, well-being, and development of students may elicit fear and discomfort. For example, school examinations inflict anxiety in many students. However, this is not sufficient justification to remove examinations or preclude students from taking exams. Similarly, it is ludicrous to suggest overall concerns over individual student anxiety should override the collective safety of the student body. The second speaker has also tried to tell you that having unisex bathrooms is uncomfortable for some, which is why the external toilet door should not be removed. Our argument is not that the toilet will be automatically made unisex if the removal of external doors take place. It's that the opportunity will be introduced to schools, and if they wish to become more inclusive, then they can take that opportunity. Even if external toilet doors are removed in schools, all that means is that they will become a more inclusive space and allow those who identify differently feel more accepted. I'll now move on to our team summary. Our first speaker argued that the removal of external doors improves the safety and use of toilets. She also said that it deters illicit behavior and therefore creates a safer school environment for students to operate in. Our second speaker extended upon this point by arguing that the removal of external doors creates a safer environment through more inclusive and hygienic practices. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, we believe in a school that promotes and prioritizes the safety and well-being of students. And by removing the toilet's external doors, we make a significant step in ensuring that this is possible. Thank you.
While the adjudicators finalise the result, I will read this evening's chairman notices. We are delighted to announce that the grand finals will be held in the House of Assembly chamber in Parliament House on Saturday the 24th of September 2022. Topic and site information for the semi-finals will be available on the Debating SA website from tomorrow morning. Please be sure to check your site and debate information carefully. Debates will be held here at the same venue next week. invite a representative of the adjudication panel to come forward to announce the result.
First off, congratulations to both teams for making it to the quarterfinals and such an entertaining debate. As each of the three adjudicators this evening arrived at their decisions independent from the others, there is regrettably no individual speaker feedback. Today's decision was a split decision of 2-1. The majority of the panel thought that one team had more compelling arguments and better referenced research and rebuttal. Just in general, there was a slight edge. For that reason, this debate has been awarded to the negative team. Congratulations. And the panel has awarded today's speaker award to Aberfoyle for overall excellence in debating.
I call upon a member of the runner-up team to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you for the negative team for hosting an amazing debate. Thank you for joining us for the quarterfinals. Thank you to the visitors and whoever came to join and watch us today. Thank you for the adjudicators, we much appreciate it, and the chairman and timekeeper. Thank you very much, guys.
I call up a member of the winning team to second that vote of thanks.
We think the Affirmative team for putting up such a good debate. You guys really had some strong points. We thank the members of the audience and the adjudicators and Miss Mitron who gave up all her lunches for this. But yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance. I now declare this debate closed.